Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 310 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and today we have a hamstring day. Now, just like yesterday, I'll be taking a different tool out of the toolbox to execute a different task, because usually I would use today's workout to basically do 5 hard sets of the Nordic curl and build volume that way, because I think building volume on this movement will really get me strong hamstrings, but today I don't have the energy to do that. I am running low on a little bit of sleep, so what I'll be doing instead is one hard set in the beginning and then move on to a bit of science-based stuff, I guess, like really trying to hit the hamstring with slower and controlled reps, but also assisted ones. And that brings me to the Master Roshi training way, from Dragon Ball, because people often talk about training hard, but less often you hear people talking about eating well and sleeping well, and those are very important, because one of the questions I often get as well is like, how are you able to train and not really take any rest days? Well, of course, one part of it is, just like today, I don't go like insanely hard every day. I have some easier days too, but more than that, like more important than that too is, well, usually I sleep enough. Usually I eat properly, right? And in the last few days, well, that didn't really happen. And now I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling the consequences. So I'm not able to execute plan A, but that doesn't mean that you can't execute plan B, right? Because, well, you will not be a stranger to the fact that even if you're not able to execute the original plan of a certain workout, you can still go for plan B or C or D. No matter how shit you are feeling, you can do something. Whether it's gonna be 1% of what you were normally gonna do, it's still better than 0. So it's your task to go out there, no matter the situation, and train anyway. Because let's say that you didn't train, right? You used your circumstances as an excuse to not train. Like, where do you draw the limit? Do you draw the limit at, oh, I'm not feeling as good as normally, I'm only feeling 50%, is that the limit? Or 60, 70? I feel like if you allow yourself to slack off in any situation, you're feeling only 1% capable of what you would normally do, and then you tell yourself today it's okay to take a complete day off and do nothing at all, nothing useful, not even some stretching, whatever the fuck, right? You have that 1% and it's now the standard of I'm not gonna do anything. And then the next time, maybe you're gonna feel like 2%, and then you're gonna tell yourself, well, last time 1%, today it's 2%, then not that much of a difference. I'm gonna not train anyway. And every time, it's easier to make the excuse to not train at all. So no matter how small the effort is, put some effort in, because you want to keep yourself sharp, and doing anything is better than doing nothing at all. But yeah, I'm gonna head outside, warm up properly, because when you're feeling tired, when you're sleep deprived, it's easy to injure yourself. So make sure to do some extra warming up and basically start your training safely. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'll catch you outside once I am done with the warm up. Okay, so during the warm up, I felt weaker than even expected. I expected to feel weak, but holy shit, this was really hard. Like, already during the warm-up I was struggling, but I'm warmed up completely, so I'm gonna do one set of unassisted Nordic curls anyway. So I don't know how many reps I'm gonna get. I'm gonna try to make it a longer set. Last time I got 10 reps, perhaps today I can match it. If I can match it, I will be very happy with the state I'm in. Or perhaps, of course I'll be aiming to even get more reps, but these Nordic curls that I'm about to do, they're gonna feel heavy, but that's okay, Next time when I'm well rested, I'm gonna have my body will have remembered these hard Nordic curls, and then because it's expecting hard Nordic curls, but it's gonna be rested, next time they will feel light, It's like train heavy, feel light. This is kind of the same, except the weight is not in the form of a backpack at the moment. It's just in the form of, well, my eye bags, the bags under my eyes, they're feeling kinda heavy, but let's go, one set, we'll see what happens. Holy shit. They definitely felt harder than last time, but I just dug a little deeper. I was warmed up properly, so the Nordic curls, although they felt heavy, they felt good. So don't skip your warm-up, especially when you're tired. But I don't know about the form. I don't really care. I'll check it afterwards, but for now, one set is more than enough. I'm gonna move on to some Nordic curl half reps, so assisted half reps. So I'll be using my pinkies to assist myself on the way up, but I'll only be going up until my arms are straight and not all the way up. So yeah, I'm gonna only train the bottom half position, do a slow negative so that I can really feel my hamstrings. I'm gonna add some weight and try to get sets of 10. Holy shit, I need to catch my breath. Oh, fucking hell. Holy shit, I'm weak. Alright. I'm not able to get to 10 reps at all, but I'll just be doing a few sets of drop sets with first the pinkies and then the index finger. Adding some weight because I do want to make progress some way, somehow. So these reps are still controlled, they're not unsafe. I can add some weight and basically try something new, you know, try something more difficult than last time, even though I'm feeling like shit. But let's do a couple more sets, maybe. What shall we say? I think at least 3 sets, but depending on how it goes, I might go up to 5 sets. Alright, I'm gonna do one more set straight with index fingers, no drop set, and then I think we'll be good for today. We can head inside for the next exercise. Okay, so that's it for the Nordic curl part of the training, and my hamstrings are feeling it immensely, so I'm sure even though I was tired, it's gonna be a good stimulus to get stronger next time. But in the meantime, you know, there is this second half of the training to do, which is gonna be the hip extensions. I'm gonna superset them actually with some rehab exercises for my shin, or I guess I should say prehab. Prehab is like doing rehab exercises before an injury actually takes place. So I'm gonna do some shin exercises where I just lift, you know, my shin like this with a band on my foot, and basically this is gonna allow me to get some blood flow in the shin area to get my shins stronger for running, because I run as well, and yeah, it prevents shin splits. So, you know, when it comes to the second part of the training, I really don't want to do it, you know. The exciting part is done, the Nordic curls are done, my legs are tired. I would rather just go downstairs and have some dinner, but especially on the tired days, what you are able to do is rehab exercises, because most of the time they are not as intense as your main workout, but they're boring and you don't care about actually progressing on the exercise. You're just doing it, you know, to improve on the exercises you actually care about. But that being said, they still have an indirect benefit for whatever goal you have. So you should do them. And if you don't, that's purely a problem of discipline. And well, we want to avoid problems regarding discipline, don't we? So yeah, I have 32 kilos here, which is the same weight as last time. Last time I think I only got 9 reps with this weight. So today, you know, the goal is just gonna be to do a little bit more. Like I said, I'm gonna superset it. Then afterwards, I'll be doing some exercises for my feet as well. But yeah, let's get the boring shit started. Basically, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, Alright, so that's it for today's training, and oh boy, it may not look like it, but those hip extensions, they're quite taxing, you know, they actually, like you do one set and you're completely breaking a sweat already, but very happy with how today's training went because, well, even though I was a bit tired, I was a bit sleep deprived, I was still able to train, but don't get it twisted, and I think this goes without saying, but, you know, don't think that because you're still able to train in less ideal situations, that you can just slack off on recovery, you know. If you're telling like yourself like, oh, well, you know, today I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep, but it's okay because I'm gonna be able to train anyway tomorrow, right? Yes, that's true, you're gonna be able to train and you should train, but it's not gonna be optimal, you know. The optimal training is gonna be when you eat good food, you eat or you sleep like 7 to 9 hours, whatever the recommended is, right? You know, you get your sleep, you get your food, your body is optimally recovered, and then you have the strength to have a good workout, because even though today I gave it my all for today, you know, if I felt better, I would have been able to give even more. I gave my 100% for today because my today's 100% is me being tired, but if I felt better, you know, of course the barrier would be higher. I would be able to give more, give my body a bigger stimulus from which it's gonna have to recover and therefore go even stronger. But yeah, don't let perfect get in the way of just good, you know. You can do good, you can do your best, and you know, it's just up to you to take the recovery seriously and make your best as good as possible. And yeah, that's it for today's training. Don't neglect your recovery, because that's when you get stronger, you know. You get weaker during your training, you're destroying your body, you're breaking it down, but it's in the recovery phase where you're actually, you know, getting, you know, the body is repairing and it's building back stronger than before. So take it very serious, you know, you have your Master Roshi way of training, work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. Half of it is recovery, you know. So if you're not taking that seriously, you're missing out on, I would say, half of your gains, but probably most of your gains, you know, because like I said, that's where you get stronger. But yeah, that's it for today's training, and I'm gonna have some dinner, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow for a push day, which, oh boy, I'm very excited for, you know, I'm very excited for it, you know, because there's just this one sit that I've been wanting to try ever since I finished the previous workout. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the training in the morning, so I hope I'm gonna be able to sleep well tonight. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be fun. I'll see you then.